Well, listen. If you don't have anything to say, you blab. You just go on and 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 on.
Voters do not agree with these despicable women on The View. They are wildly out of touch with the vast majority of Americans, and frankly, they should seek immediate help because voters...
All right, folks, it finally happened. After years of Whoopi Goldberg steamrolling over conservative voices, dismissing guests like they were beneath her, and treating The View like her personal kingdom, she finally met her match. But this wasn't just a debate. It was a public takedown. Karoline Leavitt exposed Whoopi's hypocrisy, shut down her nonsense, and left the entire panel speechless for the first time in history. Now the backlash is absolutely insane. ABC executives are scrambling, rumors are swirling about major firings, and Whoopi, she might just be on her way out for good. So what exactly did Karoline say that left Whoopi humiliated on live TV?
I think she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
I want to be clear, though. It's not her first job. It was her first press briefing. She worked in the previous Trump administration.
You do not want to miss this. But first, smash that like button and hit subscribe for more uncensored takedowns and explosive political showdowns. Did you just subscribe? Awesome. Let's get into it. The disaster started when Whoopi, Joy Behar, and the rest of The View decided they were going to lecture Karoline Leavitt on wokeness. And as usual, it got ugly. Whoopi, with her signature smugness, rolled her eyes.
Colleagues, I would like to talk about Joe Biden and Donald Trump, who you work for.
I am stating facts that your colleagues have stated in the past.
Okay,
now,
I'm sorry, guys. We're going to come back out to the panel. Karoline, thank you very much for your time.
That was so good. It was so good. In a statement afterwards, this young lady claimed her, quote, on-air snub proves that you-know-who will not be treated fairly in the upcoming debate. Now, do you think this is going to make people doubt whether CNN can stay objective, or is this more the same of, everybody's against me, it's all rigged, I tell you. Is everything rigged?
No, it's their MO. That's what they do. Rachel Maddow said last week, she's like, if the election is lost, it was rigged. If there's a debate, then the modern...
Joy Behar even threw in one of her classic bitter remarks. So now we're judging women based on their looks? The irony was off the charts. These are the same women who claim to support female empowerment, unless, of course, the woman happens to be conservative. Then they mock, they belittle, and they attack. Here's where it gets juicy. Karoline didn't flinch. She didn't stutter. She fired.
President, certainly in my lifetime,
Whoopi, do you even hear yourself?
He essentially
You sit up here preaching about women's empowerment,
by saying that we are all
yet the
a threat
moment
to
a conservative woman
because
succeeds,
we believe in putting
you claim
America
it's because
first.
of her looks?
It's not radical
That
to want
is
to
the
put
real
your country
sexism.
and your own people first.
Boom.
It's not radical
The audience
to want to have
froze.
a strong border, a strong military,
Even Joy
and
Behar,
to unleash
the queen
the
of
might
interrupting,
of your own
was
economy,
suddenly
not economies
silent.
around the world.
But
we
Karoline
have
wasn't
seen
done.
Cultural Marxism
Wokeness
trickling
isn't
its
about
way
equality.
through every
It's a
institution
political
in this
weapon
country.
used to silence
The public
those who
school
disagree.
system, the higher
And
education
Whoopi,
university
you
system,
prove it every
Hollywood,
single day
big
on
tech,
this
the
show.
corrupt mainstream media that I
The
fought
gasps
against
from
in
the
President
audience
Trump's
were
White House
audible.
are
Social media
indoctrinating
exploded.
my generation of Americans
Within minutes, hashtags like
hating our
Talk
country,
Whoopi Exposed
hating
and
one another
Karoline
based on
Owns the View
race
were trending
and gender
nationwide.
and sex
And ABC,
and all of this other
they were
BS,
scrambling.
quite frankly.
Because what happened next only made things worse. ABC. Executives were horrified. Reports started leaking that producers were furious with Whoopi. Sponsors were getting nervous. Even some of The View's longtime viewers started turning against her. And then, the real bombshell dropped. Whoopi Goldberg was mysteriously absent from the next episode, and ABC's official statement? Whoopi is taking time to reflect on recent discussions. Yeah, sure. We all know what that means. Whoopi Goldberg, the face of The View, was on the chopping block. But the fallout didn't stop there. At this point, the writing is on the wall. ABC is now facing a serious choice.
Well, listen. If you don't have anything to say, you blab. You just go on and 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 on. Right. That's what you hear. Yeah. When they don't have anything to hold you with, nothing to make you think about what they have to say, they talk at you, not to you. And that's what she was doing. And she was doing it, and it's not new.
No.
But everybody's hip to you all now.
Yeah.
And we are anticipating that you are not prepared. Because you keep saying you going and you preparing when you're on the trail.
Do they clean house and finally bring some balance to The View? Or do they keep doubling down, risking total cancellation? Because let's be real, this show survives on controversy. It thrives on heated debates, viral moments, and political clashes that keep audiences engaged, whether they love it or hate it. But when the backlash becomes bigger than the ratings, boost, it's game over. And right now they are walking a very fine line. Advertisers are already backing away, which is a death sentence for any television program. In a world where ad revenue dictates survival, when big-name sponsors pull out, networks have no choice but to pay attention. Once credibility is damaged, it's hard to regain. The viewers who once tuned in religiously are either losing interest or actively boycotting the show. Social media is ablaze with calls for reform or outright cancellation. And let's not forget, ABC itself has been under fire for how it handles controversies. It's not just about one moment or one controversy anymore.
That you saw live on this program yesterday. Joy Behar stirring the pot of controversy after saying this about Karoline.
She's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
Do you want to take this?
So you cannot be attractive and smart? I will try to give Joy the benefit, and well, thank you. I try to give Joy the benefit of the doubt that she didn't see that briefing, because if you saw that yesterday on numerous topics, no big binder, I think she might have had a different impression of this young woman who held her own.
I mean, you would have to give her the benefit of the doubt that she did absolutely no research or reading about anything dealing with Karoline Leavitt before she made that remark. Because Karoline Leavitt worked, I mean, she went to St. Anselm College, she worked for WMUR
Ran for
TV.
Congress?
In New Hampshire, she ran for Congress at the age of 25, put on a very good campaign. She lost by 8 or 9 points, but she still put on a good campaign. Then she was the press secretary for the Trump campaign, going on TV literally every day.
Well, heavily pregnant and a new mom.
Pregnant. Yeah, she's a new mother. And then she goes out yesterday and gives and this, again, this is speaking very objectively, because I've watched every press secretary since going back to Marlon Fitzwater. Yeah, I'm that old. And she went out there for her very first briefing at the age of 27 years old, the youngest press secretary ever, and did a terrific job of
It's about a pattern of behavior that audiences are growing tired of. The View has long been a lightning rod for political arguments, but at what point does the drama outweigh the entertainment value? For years, critics have accused the show of being one-sided, more of an echo chamber than a true debate forum. Now, with Karoline Leavitt's explosive moment making headlines, ABC executives are being forced to reevaluate the direction of the show. Do they shake things up with fresh voices and new perspectives, or do they risk alienating even more viewers by continuing down the same path? And let's talk about Whoopi Goldberg. She has been at the center of controversy time and time again, and yet she remains untouchable.
This young lady this is her first job, I would like her to do a little homework, because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you, because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
Yeah.
Because women were not invited to that table. Women were not invited to many tables in this nation. The reason we fought and busted our behinds to make sure that you didn't have to worry about this. And now to hear you talk about it and to hear anybody talk about the wokeness was put in place for a reason, because Black people couldn't get into colleges, because women could not get into the colleges they wanted to go to. This is all women. Yeah. See, this is not Black, Asian, this is all women. Women were not invited to this party. It was a man's world, and we busted our asses to make sure that this was a...
But is this the moment that finally pushes ABC to take action? Did she finally go too far? The backlash against her comments has reached a boiling point, with many calling for her to be fired. If ABC refuses to act, does that signal to the audience that they endorse this kind of behavior? And if they do take action.
Add one last thing. What was interesting to me is Dan Rather weighed in on X, and he said, he compared our time now to the Nixon era, which was a little scary for me. But he said, enough with both sides-ism. When one side lies intentionally and repeatedly, they are no longer entitled to the benefit of the doubt.
And we should keep in mind, too, that the people that need to hear this are the people who are running the networks that are okaying this. Because this idea, it's like they say to you now, you can only work within this perimeter. But if the facts are not clear to people, that was what a journalist was there to do, to say, in fact, this is what went on and this is how we checked. Now, we've been given doubts that people don't know how to do this. The media has pretty much always been.
Does that mean they're admitting The View has lost control? This isn't just about one episode. It's about the show's future. The network is running out of time to course correct before The View becomes irrelevant or worse, canceled out.